So if you're watching this video, I may have just sent it to you as a new buyer, or you're potentially watching it on my website. Either way, what we're going to be doing today is going over questions that I get from buyers, random stuff, but also things that I've found over the years need addressing, and they come up sooner than later. So the format here is just going to be kind of short answers. We can get into more details face to face, but this will give you a really good overview of different things that come up as a buyer. So here we go. All right, question number one is, what is my job and what do I do? If you've contacted me, you might have in your head a specific thing or a specific reason that you've contacted me. Maybe some people are like, we need you to find our house. We're having trouble doing the search. We need you to point something out, wait for it, find it, whatever it is. Other people, they have a different reason. They need some help in the process, or they just don't know where to start, whatever it is. So my job is going to be a little bit different for each person, but really the job has changed over the last 20 years. So if you're a seasoned home buyer, 20 years ago, the job of a realtor was really like find a house. Now things are so much more efficient. You know, we're going to set you up on a home search and that type of thing. A lot of my clients are like 15 minutes, the listing's been up and they're calling me because they're interested in it. It might take me 45 minutes before I see it and get to you. So part of the job is still finding a house, of course, keeping an eye out. But that has changed a lot, and we're kind of 50-50 on that now. So a lot of what a realtor's job is being like an advisor and a facilitator, you know, looking at different areas, pointing out your different options, kind of also being like your safety net. If you're hiring me to work as your buying agent, you're really minimizing the risk in the whole process. So I've got your back on, make sure you're pointing out the different steps along the way. Make sure you're not missing anything, you know, what conditions you need in, all that type of thing. We'll get into all of that. But you're hiring me as your safety net, your facilitator, to make sure your search is like streamlined and moving along, progressing, because a lot of people stumble in that. Some of that is like inside joke for realtors is that we're also part-time counselors, but really it's like sometimes helping you figure out what works best for you. Other things are like price checking to make sure what you're buying or what you're interested in is priced appropriately or not, so that we can decide how we want to offer. Also like a pre-inspection, you know, like pointing out things that kind of come up on home inspection before we get that far. It's going to save you a ton of time. So yeah, what is my job? Advisor, facilitator, price checker, pre-inspection, a little bit of counseling in there thrown in. Okay, what are the steps in buying? A lot of people call me and they just start with, where do we start? What do we do? Which is a great question. What do we do? So first thing is, you made contact with me. We've decided to work together. Great. Let's go. The first thing you need to do, though, is talk with either a mortgage broker or your banker and make sure that your mortgage is all pre-approved, your financing is all set up. Not just, you know, we've got a banker and we've got a great relationship with them, I'm sure it's going to be fine, or we got lots of money, or no, like talk to your banker or talk to your mortgage broker, make sure it's set up, make sure they've asked you for all the documents that they need. So like T1s, T4s, you got to be proactive with that, not just rely on the fact that they said, yeah, call me when you got an offer. Make sure it's all set up first. Because sometimes they need like separation documents, things like that you just didn't realize you're going to need. So that's number one. Number two, involved with that is understanding your costs and affordability. So like, not just you got your mortgage pre-approved, but understand what your purchase costs are, property transfer tax, maybe CMHC fees. We'll get into some more details about that, but really learn what your costs are and then what your affordability is. And then you'll learn where we should be looking, what price range. That's first. Next is we start searching for a house together. That's kind of the more fun part, or at least part of it's more fun. It's just looking for a different place. We go out, we see different places. We have conversations about new listings, whether or not we should take a look, that type of thing. That whole process. Next is when we find a place where you're making an offer. And that's the whole process in itself. It's kind of exciting. My job is to help you decide like strategies we're going to use, what price we think it's worth, what we want to try to get it for. Making sure it's the right place for you. Anything's going to come up on inspections. So the offer process, crafting that, we'll go over that. Once we've got an accepted offer, we've negotiated whatnot, is the condition period. So typically it's going to be 2 weeks. If it's multiple offer, it's going to be a little different. But we've got a 2-week period. I'll help you schedule your inspections. That's when your financing is going to get really approved specific for that house. So we're going to be talking to your mortgage broker, making sure they get everything they need. But basically, we've got a 2-week period to get our conditions approved. Once we've gone through that, if everything goes all right, we remove our conditions. Now the sold sign is up. So now you can relax a little bit. You know where you're moving. It's firm. You haven't paid for the house yet, but it's secured. Now you're waiting maybe 2 months or so for your possession date. Next is just talking with your lawyer or your notary public, and I'll help you out with that. If you don't have one, you'll go in and pre-sign some documents with them maybe 2, 3, 4 days before the completion. Bring them the money. They'll let you know exactly how much to bring. It'll include down deposit, their fees, any property taxes that are prepaid, that type of thing. And then on completion date, the lawyer will take care of everything on that date, transfer the title into your name, register it, and so you don't have to do anything specifically on that day. Typically, possession is 1 day after completion, and that's the morning that I'll be meeting you with the keys at the house or condo, and we'll have a little walk through the place and make sure everything's clean and whatnot, and then the place is yours. That's it. Easy. Okay, so what conditions do I need in my offer? Now, this is going to depend on the type of place that we're going to offer on. So take something that's quite simple, single family house, in town, city services, whatnot. The main conditions you're going to have are home inspection and subject to financing. We're going to have a 2-week period to get these done. The other ones are going to be like title search to confirm the buyer, who the sellers are, and any right-of-ways covenants. That's kind of a minor condition. Also reviewing their property disclosure statement. And the other one would be insurability. There's maybe the odd other one that we would include, but those are the main ones. Inspection financing especially are typically on almost every offer. If it's a rural property, the conditions are also going to include, in addition to those, things like inspection of the well, or at least a water quality test. And of course, a septic inspection, which is a separate inspection from the home inspection. Other things can be like, you might have a wet inspection, which is an inspection on a wood stove. That would be a different inspector. Or if you've got something like in-floor heating that's a gas system, you might want to have an inspector come out and look at that system. That'll vary house to house. When it's a strata, so condo or townhouse, in addition to inspection and financing, you're also going to have subject to reviewing and approving the last 2 years of the strata minutes. And that's going to give us a chance to really get a good look at the strata, because you're buying into that whole complex as well. So we're going to check their contingency fund, read through the minutes to see what's been going on in the complex over the last couple of years. So it will depend on the place that you're looking at, but those are the main ones. There are some others, when you get into like oceanfront or even close to the ocean. Archaeological search is a big one now, so that'll definitely be something on our radar and in any offer that we write for a place that's even close to the ocean. So those are the main conditions. There may be others, as I said, but we'll look specifically at the type of place that you're looking at and the place that you choose to offer on. All right. Another question I get is, how do I get paid? Like me. Fair question. So it's a commission job. My job is to work for you in your best interest, fiduciary duties, all that type of thing. I've got a long-term strategy to make sure that you're happy at the end of the day. So despite it being commission, that is how I'm paid. I get paid at the closing date once you have closed on a purchase. So if we go see 100 houses and you decide to buy in 5 years from now, after that process, I don't get paid, but that's okay. You'll send me your aunt or someone as a referral, and that's okay. But that is how I get paid. It's indirect, so you're not paying as a buyer. Commissions are paid by the seller, so the seller will have a commission that they're paying their listing realtor, and typically it's the same amount that's being offered to a buying agent. And that can vary from company to company. So if it's a REMAX Royal LePage listing, it might be something, and if it's a discount brokerage or whatnot, it might be something else. It's totally fine. I don't really care what it is. But that is how I get paid, and that'll get disclosed to you so that everybody is aware of what that payment is. Got it? Got it. Next is, when can I contact you? Nobody asks me this question, but I'm going to throw it in there anyways because I need to set my boundaries. So really, I work from kind of 8:45 in the morning till, it depends on the day. Sometimes I'll work right into the evening, right through the evening. But I typically put my phone away kind of 6:30, 7 o'clock, somewhere in there. And I try to not look at it unless we're working on an offer, or we just saw a house and you're thinking about it, so you're going to contact me. Then I'll be monitoring my phone. email though is a great way to get me if it's evening and you just have a question that can wait till the next day or whatnot. It's a question about the area. I'll probably get back to you that evening because I'm on my email almost every night, but I do put my phone away. Prefer it not to go ding ding with the text messages because it's my personal phone as well. That said, like, don't hesitate to contact me if it's a weekend or something like that and you want to see a place, whatever it is, get in contact for sure. Also, let me know how you want to communicate. Some people prefer phone call, it's much more personal, or face to face. They want to have a little meeting at the office. Great. Other people are like, text is the best way. I've got two little kids at home and I'm making lunches, and text is like just so easy. I get it. That works well for me too, but personal face to face, phone calls, let's make sure we're on the same page for all of that and things will work out well. Yeah, I think that was a good overview of the entire process. Make sure you ask lots of questions along the way. That's really what I'm here for. Ask them to ask what do